Hello, everyone. I want to talk a little bit about these black conservatives that was on uh, ABC News. I'm going to listen to it with you guys because I just couldn't listen to it by myself because it was just uh, nerve wracking.
People like me because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. It's been pretty amazing, but it possibly, I don't know, maybe there's something there.
That was okay. He don't know what discrimination is. Getting charged with a crime is not discrimination. And the only reason why you are charged with a crime or indicted, because really most black people just get caught, go to jail, wait to see the judge, get sentenced, if found guilty, and go to prison. It's not too many black people you see indicted, because usually you was caught in an act. Now with this man, he had to be indicted because his crime was so outrageous and you had to get so much proof, which what proof do you need? But um, so they had to spend a lot of money trying to get this crime to court. So for him to say, he didn't want to say what he didn't really want to say what he wanted to say. Uh, so he gonna call it discrimination. Like they think we are so stupid, and we keep forgetting. And most of these black conservatives, they don't want to remember, and they don't want to believe that really white people don't want us here. 98% of the white people hate our guts. They wish we just go away. They want a something that they ain't gonna never have, and they hate it. That's why, how in the world can you? It's hard. It's hard out here for a black person because you see that these white nationalists and all these Proud Boys and all these other idiots, nuts, go out here and just shoot up a place to kill a bunch of people not that don't look like them because they hate, because they've been taught to hate.
In front of hundreds of black conservatives. What was their reaction? We're joined now by four black Republicans who are all in the room. Adul Ali, Operations Director at Frederick Douglass Foundation of North Carolina. Tia Bess, National Director of Engagement for Moms for Liberty. Kevin McGarry, co-founder of Every Black Life Matters. And Sharice Lane, a student at Florida A&M University. Thank you all so much for joining us. The Federation just black responded, saying in part, Black Americans are waking up to the reality that the Democratic Party has taken advantage of them, and the media and the party are terrified. Our community support.
Okay. They keep saying the Democrats. You don't see what the Republicans, the GOP is doing? They don't see the GOP doing these things, taking away rights from women. How? That's going back. Is that going back to where things was great again? When women didn't have the rights to vote or do what they want with their body? Marry who they want to marry? That's what they want to go back to. And you have, oh, it's okay if they want to take black people back to slavery. They'll be okay with that too. We'll, just give us a job in the big house. Okay, let's finish.
Supports the policies of President Donald J. Trump and knows full well that life
The
was better
policies.
4 years ago under his administration. No amount of media deception or liberal race baiting will sway the minds of Black voters who will cast their ballots this November for safer streets, a better financial well-being, a secure border, and a complete rejection of Joe Biden's disaster.
Safer straits. Where do they get their news from? They really think oh,
tenure. So you all were all there. A quick show of hands. Do you believe his comments were in any way racist? Nobody. Okay. Abdul, what were your thoughts that night when you heard these comments during the event?
They didn't think those words was racist. Oh, well, see, of course they're not going to think it's racist because that's what they believe. You're looking at Black people who don't want to be Black, who don't think they're Black, who think Black people are the problem. That Black people need to straighten up. That it's Black people that's going out here mass murdering. That it's Black people out here that's raising the prices. It's Black people that's out here dirtying up the country. You know, these are what you call Oreos. And I know how these people operate and how they think. They really actually blame everything on the Black people because that's what they have learned to do. They see white people as the pure, having everything. They don't think those comments were racist.
It's about
where do they
time
get
that
these
somebody
people
started
from?
telling the truth. I mean, he's only speaking to what some Black folks have experienced for a very long time, which is a disastrous justice systems in many cases, and ultimately.
Okay, they always want to say disastrous justice when you have a mixture of all kind of people in prison: Black, white, Hispanic, Indian, German, whatever. And most of them in there because they committed a crime. Stop committing crimes and you won't be in prison. Now, of course, you have ones that are innocent of all nationalities. And we're going to try to act like we are full American citizens. Stop being stupid. Tell the truth. You're never going to have good justice for a Black man in this country. Why are we acting like we are? It's not going to happen. Now, if you're out there riding in a car with no license, expired tags, a broken windshield, and you're going to get mad because they stop you, and you're going to start running because you got a warrant and get shot in the back. And then you sue, your family do, and get millions of dollars and do nothing with it. Don't even help the community. Don't even try to do nothing. Tell the truth. We've all experienced, who you talking about all? We've been experiencing injustice since we've been on this land. And now all of a sudden, it's a problem. And the person that's talking, I'm sure he probably ain't never been arrested. Okay? Okay. I had a father that I don't think ever been arrested either. So it's a lot of people out here that's never been arrested, that's out here doing all kind of stuff, but ain't never been arrested.
We can all see this playing out right in front of our very eyes. I wasn't offended or didn't feel like anything he said was racist in any way.
Of course you didn't feel offended because you're scared. You're scared to piss the white people off. Most of these black people depend on white people for their being because they don't want to deal with black people. Yes, we are very difficult to deal with because we are still feeling the effects of being stolen, our great grandparents being stolen and brought to this land and demeaned to make us feel like beasts, animals.
Former President Trump also made a statement about his mugshot taken as part of his Georgia case. Let's take a listen to that.
And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible. You see,
they clapping for that. He said that we loved his mugshot. Now, why are we gonna have his mugshot? We don't walk around here with nobody else's mugshot on our shirt, unless it's a family member and we say free Tony. Okay, but who in the hell going to spend $19 and get a mugshot of a known racist that's been indicted for trying to steal an election? And most of these young ones out here, these people that's talking now, they have not really been through some racist presidents. A lot of us haven't. But a lot of our great grandparents have.
black people walking around with my mugshot. They do shirts and they sell them for $19 a piece.
Kevin T, I want to bring you in here. Do you feel that comment was in any way off color?
He laughing.
Not at all. I mean, the reality is that, we see a president that has been prosecuted and persecuted. And a lot of people in the community, especially in the black community, who have felt that there's
That's a lie. Why did they put these on here? Why didn't they put some people on here that thought it was racist? They're not going to show the black conservatives that believe and already know that it's racist. I know it's some out there. And he's going to say the president is being persecuted. Isn't that what the justice system does? They arrest you and you put on trial and you go to jail if you're found guilty. So evidently they're saying that they don't think he did anything wrong. So my problem is, why do you support somebody that has had a long history of crimes and doing people wrong? So it's all right that he calls people names. He's been convicted of sexual assault. He's been on the mic saying he grabbed women by the pussy. You okay with that? Now, if that was a black man saying that, they would have a problem with it. They would have a problem with it. Even if that man was a black conservative, they would have a problem with it because they hate black people. Black people.
tiers of justice are seeing that played out in front of their very eyes, and they're saying, yeah, I can relate to this guy. This guy is going through some things that either myself or my family have gone through, and this is a very relatable moment for a lot of people. So seeing this mugshot as a big, to the media and to the political pundits it's a big deal, and it really does resonate within the community.
Tia, want to get your comments there.
Well, no, I agree, especially coming from an education perspective. You know, he didn't say, if you're not black if you don't vote for me. You know, he was just saying
Biden
the truth,
said
and
that,
that's what sometimes
and that was
we
the
need
truth.
to hear. For too long in politics, we've been lied to, and we need to hear the truth and have someone that we can relate to.
And she got a flag in the back of her counts.
Relating to blackness, but I do think that a lot of black people have gone through the criminal justice system, and it has been unfair to them. And I think that's what he was saying.
Adul, you said that you focus more on
He
Trump's
said discrimination
than what he actually says. But as we saw when he was president, his words do have tremendous power, even fluctuating the stock market just minutes after he'd speak. Do you think that his words shouldn't matter?
His words absolutely do matter, and I'm less concerned with something said in jest, and I'm more concerned with the fact that we had a president who actually took on criminal justice reform with the First Step Act. And unlike the Biden administration and the Democrats, he set forth a platinum plan for Black economic empowerment, something we've seen nothing of the sort from the Democrats.
Kevin, your thoughts as far as, do you feel that there have been some policies in the past?
Nothing happened with the
while
platinum
he was
deal.
President for 4 years that Black people benefited from.
Absolutely. And the number one policy, and the one policy I wish the mainstream media would cover, because it would give you a lot more credibility amongst your average folks, would be the policy that Joe Biden in his 1994 crime bill, when he says, look,
when black folks was stealing everything that wasn't melted down.
Communities for a little $5 piece of crack, going to send them to prison for 15 to life. And
well, you know what?
President Trump came in.
That was our fault. Should have never been on crack.
In the black community, especially, it was targeted. And he said,
that's their number one thing. The crime bill.
Polling, former President Trump saw a 5% increase in the black vote from 2000.
The crime bill, not the bill that you can go to jail for just standing around like they had in Jim Crow. You know that they ain't saying nothing about that. I lived through the 80s. Okay. And when that crime bill came out, it didn't stop nobody from out there committing crimes. I mean, people's actually getting killed for their Snickers, for their shoes. People was breaking in your house 2-3 times a month. I mean, it was that bad. And people was losing their kids and their homes and their families. And it was like, okay, y'all don't want to get help that we are extending to you. You want to keep committing crimes? Okay, you're going to take your ass to jail for life. I mean, I'm not saying that it was right, but I'm saying we have to start taking responsibility for our own actions. They talking about something happened in 1984. And he was only a senator. It's a difference. He's the president now. They don't bring up the fact that this man had to go to jail for discrimination.
2016 to 2020. Tia, I want to bring you back in here. What do you think is driving this increase? What specific Trump policies do you feel have helped Black Americans?
Well, I mean, I'll start with myself. I was a Democrat for all my life, my entire family, but it was around COVID time when I started.
Okay. I had a daughter that became a Trump supporter. And her number one issue that he really nailed it, really drove it in the ground was immigration. They hated, I mean, she even told me out her mouth, she hated to see these Somalians and all of them with jobs, making a good living. But they don't want to state the facts. Most of us do not want to work hard. And most of us, and they just mad because these people that come over here from different countries like Africa and Mexico and all this stuff, they are family oriented. And he talking about, I don't know what he talking about, why he keeps saying it's poison in the blood. These people hardly even talk to Americans. They stick with their families, their people. They stick together. They work hard as hell. And they live a peaceable life. Now, they was okay with all that when they started coming over here from these different countries back in the 30s and stuff. They the one that brought crime and evilness. They came over here and started prostituting women and the mafia and all this stuff. But hey, they don't want to talk about that. And then when they came over here in the 1600s, what did they bring? Crime, disease. They don't want to talk about that. Now all of a sudden they're good. They're good people. They don't want to talk. They was crazy. It was a lot of crazy people came over here. And that's what over there they did in the UK. They sent these people over here out of jails. That's where he get that from. They came here from jail, disease, and the asylums. That's who came over here. That's why when they came over here, so many of them died because they didn't even know how to garden. They were stupid as hell. But then they learned a lot from the Indians and they used it against them, killed them all, and tried to they took their country. They start finding all these riches, start making all this money, all this international trade, start getting the big head. And now they want to talk about other people. And you got these black ass people in here trying to act like they so damn good. And then she gonna turn Republican after the COVID?
Paying attention to policies being made. Like I started paying attention to, when Trump and other politicians were listening to the parents, the people who really had voices that matter. Because if you look at the media now, no one's paying attention to the parents and what we need. And just because I'm a black parent doesn't mean that I care less about my child. Doesn't mean that my opinion should not be heard. So there have been a lot of policies that, Trump has been supporting within the parental rights system.
And anyone can answer here, kind of a jump ball. Final question. What do you think about the media response, the noise, and some of the comments made as a result of the controversial remarks, if you will, that Donald Trump said over the weekend? And I'm also curious, is there anything that Donald Trump could say?
Okay. Now she wants, is anything? Okay, let's hear that.
Stop you all from voting for him.
For me, I would say that it's more so about policy and action instead of just talking. Someone can talk a good game all day. They can appeal to black voters if they want to, but it's all about policy and what you're doing that really stands out to me. Like, for instance, there are two big policies that I agree with that he has passed, such as things on school choice. I'm pro school choice.
Okay. I can't hear no more. School choice. See, these idiots, all they care about is themselves. They don't care about other people that's trying to live their life. All they care about is themselves and their kids. Where is the racists, the conservatives that know it was racist. I don't see any on here. None. And they get these black conservatives that want to be on TV. They want to be different. And they want to get that white support because it's going to help put money in their pocket. And this man, who is this man?
On Friday, former President Trump spoke at the Black Conservative Federation Gala in South Carolina. Some,
Republican Brian Donald. Oh my God. He is Republican in Florida, the most racist state. These people don't even know the history of their racist state. That's why I said this is only the beginning of the South trying to rise again. They just don't know Donald Trump is the Jefferson Davis. He's the president of the South. And most of these black conservatives live in the South because they have been conditioned to hate black people. I want to see some of these. Let me see if I can find it somewhere. Some black conservatives that said it was racist what Trump said.
Black conservatives that said it was racist what Trump said.
Barry Bonds or Babe Ruth? He said, well, Barry Bonds, but if I'm in a different group, I might say Babe. That's real. He's real. I said, hey, at least he's being honest.
So they have a black conservative event. Have y'all ever heard of that?
Where was our damn invite? Facts.
You don't mess with us, bro. We're lame.
What? That's actually insane. Let's see what happened at the black conservative event. I'm just upset that we didn't know about this.
You know, we didn't get no invite, man. We should have been the first ones on the list.
They said we lame, bro.
No, but I guess we kind of
maybe not the first ones, but we should have been like one of the first 10 people invited.
I know, but they probably think we knew and all. Like, I don't know, man. I did not think it was actually like an event where black people link up in their conservative. I believe that it's a lot of black conservatives, but an event that is a little crazy. I never would have expected that. But apparently Trump went to one. We got people saying he was cooking, then we got people saying he was making racist comments. We don't be the judge of all that. Let's see the stuff that people were saying that they actually the people at the event said he was cooking. So
I'm sure they did.
The radical Democrat Party has waged war on black families for many, many decades. Think of it. It's really 100 years. It's a century. They've controlled these cities for 100 years. Hard to believe. I said, can't be. It is. They've controlled. And look at what you take a look at Baltimore. You take a look at New York. You take a look at Chicago. You take a look at all of these places. Take a look at what's going on in the West Coast. Take a look at what's happening. And they've controlled these cities for 100 years. And nothing happens. They're slum areas. They're dangerous. Nothing has happened, and we're going to change it. We're going to change it.
He didn't change it when he was president the first time.
He really has proven to be a very nasty and vicious racist. He's been a racist. Whether you like it or don't like it, I happen not to like it. Most of the people in this room happen to not like it. And if somebody does like it, they're not supposed to be here. Biden spent years palling around with notorious segregationists. You know that. He boasted that his home state was a slave state. He was very proud of that. He thought it was great. If you go back and look at his body language and the way he said it, he was very
Why are you
proud.
talking
He
so
said that he
fast?
didn't want his children to grow up in a, quote, racial jungle. I don't want my children in a racial jungle.
Okay. They bring that up, but he don't never bring up the fact that he was accused of discrimination in his properties. He don't bring up the fact that about the Park Five. He don't bring up his racist past, but he talks about Biden. And again, we have to remember, you are a black person living in America. And of course, that's not going to change. So what we have to do is try to live our lives and help one another. I mean, it's crazy.
Joe Biden drafted the 1994 crime bill, which called.
Okay. Of course he did. And you had a lot of them out there trying to help the crack epidemic that was going on. And like I said, what was you going to do? It was so bad. It was bad. And what was he doing in 1990? We need to stop looking at what somebody did and start looking at what they're doing. Because like I said, it doesn't matter who's in the White House. You still have to live your life honorably, respectfully, and don't be out here doing crime. We all did a lot of things back in the 90s that was wrong. I mean, come on, what is worse than how many people lost their life? How many people got their kids killed because of crime? It's a lot of things to be mad about, but that crime bill ain't one of them. Because if you wasn't out there doing crimes, stealing everything, breaking in people's houses to get crack, you wouldn't have to worry about. See what it was 3 times. Now, if you do it 1 time, okay. 2 times, okay. But the 3rd time, you're gonna take your ass out there. Okay, you're gonna get what you got coming.
Unfair sentencing disparities that devastated the black community, black families. Cory Booker.
Okay. Them some fools too. They is young. These are some young people that done got on the Trump train, trying to make a little money. And they weren't even born in the 90s. They did that. They brought that up with Hillary when he was going against Hillary. They brought that up. They don't never talk about what Bush was talking. No, that was Nancy Reagan. Talking about just say no to drugs. And we had the DARE program. It's a lot of programs that was out there to help us to get off these drugs. But if you don't, and just because they say, they always bring up too about, yeah, crack, people got more more time than the cocaine. Yeah. Because you really didn't see too many people out there committing crimes like they did, or getting or dying from hitting the pipe than you did at people sniffing. And don't get it twisted. It's never going to change. Black people are going to always be deal with discrimination. It is 2023. It is still discrimination. And he's talking about all these cities that are ran by Democrats. It is bad all over the country, not just in Democrat cities. So that's enough of this idiot. And why is he talking so fast? Because there's so much he wants to get out. And he's talking to a bunch of it's a lot of whites in the audience, but he's talking to black people. And you don't hear him talking fast like that to a white audience. So, oh my goodness. I am going to vote for Biden. I'm voting for someone who is trying, who is out there doing things. Not just Biden, but also the ones that are in Congress, also in the ones in the House of Representatives, and the ones that are the mayors and stuff, they are trying. But you know what stops them? The GOP. Look at what they're doing in Mississippi. And you talk about Baltimore and Mississippi. When they try to do something to help the city and help the people, it don't pass. So you could believe what you want to believe. But thank goodness he will never, ever be president again. And we hope and going to try to keep all racists as idiots. He's not just a racist. He is stupid. The things that he say and do. Proud to take away women's rights after they did all that fighting to get it. And then 50 years later, here come this joker. Okay, let me go. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.